Yo, what's poppin'? Welcome to Bhroman Braapsody. This is where we review cars and motorcycles, and guess where I'm at today? This is that little piece of heaven, Motorcycles of Greensboro, because we're surrounded by Italian supermodels, including the professor.
Yes.
The man, the myth, the legend right here. How are you,
bro,
professor?
how are you?
I'm good.
Welcome back, brother. How are you?
Thank you.
Good?
I'm living the dream. I'm living the dream.
Yeah,
And
every day.
All day, every day.
At least for me anyways. I'm around these motorcycles, every day, all day.
I have the Diavel, I have the xDiavel, and then the very special Diavel Nira right behind the professor. And in today's episode, we're gonna keep talking about these motorcycles. We are the professor. We're gonna look around these bikes. I'm gonna take one of these out for a spin, share my thoughts with you guys, talk about the cost of ownership and assign it a Bhromance score. What do they have to do if they're new to Bhroman? Yes, subscribe. Hit like and subscribe.
Subscribe. Hit it.
Hit it. We put out content every week and your support would mean a lot. It's me, it's your boy Bro, and I am your Bhroman.
And the reason why it's called the Diavel was because when they were test riding it, one of the engineers went off on a test ride on it, and he came back, and in proper Bolognese accent, he said, "Accelera come un diavolo." In other words, it accelerates like a devil, like the devil. So they called it the devil.
The Diavel, right? Okay.
At that time, Harley Davidson had the V-Rod that they had worked with Porsche. Yamaha was playing around again with
the VMAX,
bringing the VMAX back from the dead. And what the Diavel did is it basically set the new bar for what we would call a power cruiser.
Yeah.
By giving a power to weight ratio that was unseen in the industry.
Yeah.
Three different concepts went into the design of the bike. One was obviously the high tail end of the bike, which is a design element of a super bike. Well, the other naked bike that Ducati was very familiar with, because they invented the class, was the naked bike. So the big hump tank of the monster was one of the design elements. And the other one was the low slung chassis from a cruiser. And why the cruiser? Well, because Ducati was looking at how many motorcycles Harley Davidson's sold into the United States. And it obviously being the biggest cruiser market, being the largest motorcycle consumption market of the time, I think. So, you know, looking at those numbers, they thought, geez, you know, if we put a bike out there that can compete in that market, and if, let's say, we just get 1% of all the Harley Davidson sales, we'd be happy, right? Well, they missed the cruiser mark, but they hit the power cruiser mark. Absolutely, 100%. The bike was first launched in 2011, and I was there for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's when you used to work for Ducati.
I was there. Yeah, I was there for it. It was cool. Actually, one of the very first training sessions I went to was the Diavel training session. But you know, the bike came out as a 1200cc. L twin engine that produced that much horsepower, and before they went to the variable valve timing, the bike was just absolutely brutal on top end. It was beautiful. It was just an amazing bike. So accelerate like a Diavel, like a devil, brake like a devil, because you know you got Brembo brakes, right? Ducati has always done a very nice job with chassis and balancing the weight and centralizing mass and all that stuff. So you had a cruiser that could accelerate, stop, and turn, which makes it very much a Ducati, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. So this is a very special bike because it's a very limited production, and they produced the xDiavel Nera in conjunction with a leather manufacturer called Frau. So you have a very, very special leather for the seat. And as you can tell, that's very, very elegant feel to the seat. Yeah. Yeah, so, like if you were to get into a Lamborghini, that's the kind of leather feel that you get from the seats.
Yeah.
to go back to the actual motorcycle in itself and the family of the Diavel. So we have, you know, we saw the Diavel. This is the xDiavel. It's the same engine, same chassis design. Geometry is slightly different. Obviously, the xDiavel has got a longer wheelbase, but more importantly, the xDiavel puts you closer to the cruiser segment than the Diavel does. The reason why is because it actually puts your feet forward.
See that, like your foot pegs are further ahead.
Oh, and by the way, the foot pegs are adjustable. They have 3 different positions. Usually they come from Ducati at the position closest to the seat. But based on the length of your legs, you can have them, you can choose to move them forward. And the other big difference is the difference between the chain drive of the Diavel and the belt drive of the xDiavel.
So this gives it, a more traditional cruiser feel.
Yeah, it's a lot smoother.
More smoother.
Well, and the other thing, you know, there's a cultural difference in motorcycling between Italy and the United States. Most Harley Davidsons spend most of their time on highways or interstates. Most Italians don't go on highways or interstates when they're motorcycling. They look for the tight twisties. And if you're up in the Alps, tight twisties is all you're going to get. Because there is no other choice. The landscape just doesn't lend itself to wide open roads. Ducati called this bike the xDiavel because the X represents the intersection where performance and elegance meet.
That's what the X stands for.
That's what the X stands for.
Do you mind if I do a quick walk around?
Absolutely
these
not.
Motorcycles,
Absolutely
Professor?
not.
So starting off from the front of the bike, it's got this beautiful headlamp. This is the DRL on the top that goes around. Looks pretty cool. And this is in a beautiful matte black. I just love how gorgeous this matte black looks in person. It really does. Now the xDiavel has turn signals over here. You don't get those intakes on the side as you get with the Diavel because they want your feet to be forward. You have forward controls, adjustable rear suspension, and it's a belt drive. The seat looks so clean and looks beautifully cut. A small tiny passenger seat. Unlike the Diavel, this does not have a little holding thing for the passenger. The humpback tank looks so beautiful and so gorgeous in this matte black finish. I love it. And just in case if you're confused what kind of bike you're riding, well, it tells you it's an xDiavel. Coming to the back, it's got the big fat 240 cross-section tire, license plate holder, turn signals, tail lights. Moving on to the side, this is a signature of Ducati's, is the single-sided swing arm. And check out those wheels. Those wheels look phenomenal and gorgeous. Here's your 1260cc L twin. This puts out about 160 horses, and that's what's it at. And it's liquid cooled, so you have the radiator with a little bit of the trellis frame over here. Now we come to the front. This has a 27.3 degree rake angle. What's the rake angle, you ask? We'll draw a perpendicular from the steering mount. Follow the 4 cubes. That angle is the rake angle. Smaller the rake angle, the more nimble the bike is, and larger the rake angle, the more stable it is at higher speeds, highway speeds, and such. I have these beautiful mirrors on both ends. On your right hand side, we have the kill switch, starter button, and then down below is the power button. You have a little display screen here, and here you get a bunch of error messages and stuff. As for your handlebar controls, on your left hand side we have the passing lights on top. Push it out, that's your high beam. Hazards, toggle up and down to the menu and enter button. Cruise control, turn signals, and the horn down below. Now this bike is this has keyless ignition, and this right here is the Ducati key fob. It's got a beautiful Ducati logo on the side. You have this little key for to open your seats, and that's about it. Keep it in your pocket and you're good to go. Up comes the Ducati screen, and this is a cool little screen here. You have a tachometer, tells you the speed, which gear you're on, side stand indicator, riding mode, trip time, and the fuel gauge. And on the top you have lights for fuel, check engine, stability control, ABS, high beams, and cruise control. Press the up button on the toggle switch. It changes to average speed, fuel consumption, outside temperature, transmission temperature, total miles, trip 1, trip 2, fuel range, and trip time. Pretty cool. And if you just tap the menu button here, that brings up your riding modes. It's got 3 riding modes: urban, sport, and touring. We're going to start off with urban, so press and hold the menu button again to make a selection. It'll start blinking, and that's where you have it. Now if you press and hold the menu button, up comes the menu, and you can go through riding modes, info mode, lap timer, pin code, backlight, date and clock set, info service, units, info, and then finally exit. To make a selection, you have to press the enter button again, tap it again, and it'll go back. Tell my viewers, what is this magical place called Motorcycles of Greensboro?
We really truly are more of a motorcycle enthusiast center, where, you know, motorcyclists talk to other enthusiast motorcyclists, share stories, experiences, and we love it when people come in and tell us their stories and what they've owned and what they did with it and all that kind of stuff. So it's fun. I mean, we truly enjoy what we do.
So this is exactly a motorcycle enthusiast center, and I don't just say it because I come here to film these bikes.
Well, you come here because it is the motorcycle enthusiast center.
I get my own bike service here.
Yeah, so if you're a motorcyclist, then you're always welcome here.
Yeah, come on down. I'll put their website link in the video description below. Come on down, check them out. They have motorcycles, they have gear, helmet, you name it. They have all bunch of stuff. Come out here, meet the professor and the rest of the crew. When you come here, give them a nice big wave. Say like, "Hey, professor!"
And be sure to tell us that the Bhromance sent you.
Yes.
Tell us.
Tell them that the Bhromance sent you.
Because then you're immediately part of the family.
Yeah. But Professor, we've been talking on and on and on about these motorcycles. Do you happen to know what time it is?
Brother, it's right o'clock, man. You gotta get going.
It's right o'clock. Let's go. So, if you guys are new to Bhroman, give us a like and hit that subscribe button. We put out content every week, and your support would mean a lot. All right, so let's start off our test, or our riding part, with our first test, which is let's make a couple of U-turns and see how this puppy maneuvers. Starting right up here. Well, it's not a very heavy bike, and it's very, very well balanced, so yeah, these U-turns are no problemo whatsoever. So what about the first impressions of this motorcycle, huh? Well, first things first, let me adjust this mirror real quick. I like these mirrors. They're pretty big and you can see a lot out of it. I love the seat. It's such a deep cut seat. My legs are comfortable here, and yeah, I love the seating position and the seating ergonomics. I don't have to reach out for the handlebars, and like they're not pulled back towards me, but I don't really have to reach out to them. And the seat and the seating position, all of that is brilliant. I love it. It's like this. It's really good. Now, as for the wind protection, now there is no wind protection of any sort. There's no windshield. There's no lowers. There's none of that. So I'm being blasted by wind, upper body, lower body, torso, all of it, which isn't bad on a nice warm day. But I'm assuming on cooler days, it's not gonna be a lot of fun. Nope, I do not think it's gonna be a lot of fun on colder days or even cooler days. Balance on this motorcycle is amazing. It feels like it's so light and so nimble. It's so easy to do this, like, you know, just push it from one side to the other. Love it. Right now I'm riding in urban mode. And so the urban mode is where everything's pretty relaxed and you only get 100 horses. Only 100 horses, right? But it's a really chill riding mode. Throttle response is easy. There's no jerkiness, none of that. You can't really act a fool. I mean, you can, but you know. Let's see if we can change modes on the fly. Yeah, so I'm gonna try. Let's go ahead and put it in. Oh, did that go into sport mode? Dang it. I don't want it in sport mode, not yet. Yeah, touring mode. Touring mode is what we're gonna try now. Press and hold it. Yeah, close throttle. close the throttle, and boom, we are in touring mode. Now, touring and sport modes both give you all of the 152 horses, but of course the throttle response is different. Alright, now that we're stop, check this out. I'm 5'10", 31 inch man. I can flat foot this bike very easily, no problem whatsoever, no problemo. Alright, so let's keep on riding our bike in touring mode, because why not? We are touring. No, but even in touring mode, man, that you feel that it's got more power to it, but it's not, the throttle response is not crazy at all, not at all. And you know, one of the big differences between the xDiavel and the xDiavel is the foot positions here, the foot peg, sorry. On the xDiavel, it's up front, so there's none of the additional stuff going on the sides, like the air intakes and things like that. So this way you can stretch your legs forward and enjoy yourself, or enjoy your ride. It's a good ride to be enjoying, in my opinion. Engine braking on this motorcycle is a lot of fun. It's really good. You let go of it and it starts engine braking. Last mode to check out is our sport mode. Let's check it out. Why not? Again, you can change it on the fly. All you have to do is close your throttle and it's good, and it engages. Now, sport mode, yeah, it's got all the 152 horses again, but there's a big difference. The throttle is a bit more responsive than in touring mode, and this is how to come with a Ducati quick shifter. So it doesn't have the quick shifter, so you have to use your clutch, no up or down shift assist. But it's not a big deal, because you can still have a lot of fun with this bike no matter what. Oh, and speaking of fun, it's time to do our second test, which is the pull test. Let's see how this puppy pulls. All right, let's go. Yay, 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 yay. Even though it's trying to be a cruiser, it's still a Ducati at heart. So what you get is a lot of performance, which means it can hustle, it can move, it can fly. Is this a good bike for commuting? Well, I don't see why not. This is pretty comfortable. You're going to be sitting very comfortably on this bike. It does not have any storage space, so you need to carry a backpack with your stuff in it. You're gonna have a lot of fun. It's a smooth riding experience. Riding through traffic and stuff, at least for the time that I've been riding it, it's not been heating up. So yeah, you could have fun while commuting to work and have that stupid grin on your face when you get there. Is this a good motorcycle for touring? Well, what makes a touring bike a good touring bike? In my opinion, you need wind protection, like you need a windshield and lowers and things like that. This does not have any of it. So I would say this does not have those elements of a touring motorcycle, neither does it have any storage space. So no saddlebags, tool pack, none of that. You can get aftermarket parts, but yeah, that kind of takes away from the look of the bike, and I'm not a big fan of that. You can easily do a couple hundred or few hundred miles on this motorcycle, no doubt whatsoever. But if you want to go really long distance touring, probably not the best for that. Which brings us to our last question. Is this a good bike for beginners? Well, no. This is a 160 odd horsepower, 152 horsepower motorcycle. Yeah, this is not a beginner bike by any stretch of the imagination, nope. Because if you throw it around, like let's put it in urban mode. I'm gonna show you guys something. Like even if you put it in urban mode and give it some gas, with only 100 horses, it can still hustle, it can still move if you really twist the throttle. So yeah, no, definitely not a bike for beginners at all. Nope, nope, nope. What about the cost of ownership? So, in conclusion, the Ducati xDiavel Dark that I've been riding, man, it's a comfortable bike. It's got a lot of character. It can move. It's quick. I love that engine sound and the exhaust note. It's definitely a power cruiser. Definitely a power cruiser, and you're gonna have so much fun commuting on it or going on, like a day trip, or it's gonna put a stupid grin on your face no matter what you want to do. Just cruise or act a fool. Is the Diavel the bike for you? Is the xDiavel the bike for you? Well, head on down to your closest Ducati dealership and take one out for a spin and see what you think. Well, thanks for watching, you guys. Keep your knees in the breeze, and I'll see you soon. Bro out.